Hi friends, let's study the anti-money laundering part for CDCS as well as for CIIB also. See, this is common for all, CDCS also, CIIB also. So you can use it for anything. Anti-money laundering, okay? We'll study in details. I'll read first because important is what is given. The topic is very important. The content should not be missed at all. Wide range legislation is aimed at prevention of money laundering, transferring the proceeds of drug trafficking and the funding of terrorist activities. See this, okay? So legislations in all the countries, they are aimed at what? Main is prevention of money laundering, transferring the proceeds of drug trafficking. Drug trafficking is a major money laundering business and funding of terrorist activities, okay? Legislation varies in content and application from country to country, but as a global community seeks to control and eradicate such activities, there is an increasing responsibility on the banks to understand better who their customers are and the true nature of the customers' businesses. So this is why KYC and AML points are very important. KYC part basically. If you follow KYC properly, AML will take care of itself. What do you mean by KYC? Here, know your customer. It means what? It means knowing the customer and his business properly. Keeping a track of the business properly. Okay? So, banks that fail to undertake the required levels of due diligence run the risk of incurring severe penalties imposed by the local regulatory or legislative bodies, right? So if you fail in this AML part, you'll face a lot of fines from various you be in any country, all the central banks or the regulatory bodies will definitely put a fine on you. In addition to KYC and CDD, customer due diligence, CDD means customer due diligence formalities, a bank should also assess transactions from the potential money laundering, terrorist financing and sanctions perspective. So banks should always look at it, any AML issue or any case from these three perspectives: money laundering, terrorist financing and sanctions perspective. Sanctions from various, mainly US gives the sanctions, but from various other countries also, okay? The term money laundering is used to refer to all techniques used to conceal the origin of money that has been illegally obtained or which is being used for illegal purposes. Basically, see this, illegally obtained and conceal means hide the source of funds. The drug traffickers will get the money by drug trafficking and then try to conceal that, hide that source and try to make it legal money. That's what is money laundering. Okay? Illegal money, converting it to legal in a legal way, right? That is money laundering. Or reverse is also true. Legal money goes to illegal activities. Both the things can happen, which is being used for illegal purposes. It gets its name from the process of turning dirty money into clean, right? That's basic thing. Main source is dirty money, illegal money to legal investments. Okay. One technique is to use the proceeds of the crime as cash deposit to induce a bank to issue a documentary credit covering the purchase of goods for a legitimate seller from a legitimate seller, which will then be sold in the local markets. So I am having illegal money. I'll go to the bank, ask the bank to issue an LC in my favor. Means in the favor of some seller. I am the buyer. I am having cash with me, illegal cash. I'll go to the bank. See, this is my cash. Let's say $1 million. This is my cash, or 10 lakh rupees I am having. I'll put it in the bank, give them as a deposit, keep it as a lien, FD, issue a LC for the seller. on due date make the payment from this money. So what have I done? Illegal money I have converted for legal purposes. The seller will get the money, so he will issue the invoice, so it becomes a legal money, legal transaction, right? So these goods will be sold in the local market, and then local market I'll earn profits and I'll show that these are my profits, legal wage. Okay? The proceeds of such transaction will then be perceived as clean, isn't it? Money laundering uses variety of other techniques to achieve objectives, including the following. So which are the transactions or this techniques? First is cash transactions. Cash can be deposited into the bank accounts in jurisdictions with greater bank secrecy or less rigorous anti-money laundering environment. So many countries don't have that much or those strict laws on cash deposition. Many countries don't have it. Okay. In such case, what happens? You can go and deposit the cash. Once it goes into the banking system, it becomes a legal money. Okay. Business that receives cash payments can deposit both legal and illegal cash receipts into the bank accounts, claiming all to be legitimate earnings, right? So once it goes into the bank, I can issue checks, I can purchase goods, okay? So basically, I am converting the illegal source to legal. They can also pay employees partly or fully in cash to avoid having to record illegal cash receipts, right? Many times this also happens. The owner has illegal money. This owner will bring this illegal money and pay all the employees' salary in cash. Actually, it's not the right way. Salary should be paid in accounts, isn't it? But some countries don't have these rules and regulations. Even employees employees are always concerned with money. They'll say cash, account, anything, isn't it? Under or overvaluing of invoices. This is another one important part. Inflating the true value of invoice can disguise the movement of illegal funds, isn't it? I want illegal money or I have illegal money, I have to give it to someone from other country, I have to transfer it. What will I do? I'll tell him, see, this good is for, let's say, $1, you charge me $3 per good. I'll pay you legally. So through the channel it goes and he gets $3, whereas the cost of the good is only $1. So where are the $2 going? That person will use it for some illegal purpose, terrorist financing or anything. Shell companies and trust. Okay, shell companies. So shell companies means what? These can disguise the true owner of funds, especially if the jurisdiction in which the shell company or the trust is located does not require the disclosure of the beneficial owner. Many countries don't require or they will not disclose the details of the owners, right? And even many of the companies can be formed with with minimum documentation in many countries. So there it's very easy to form the shell company. Shell company means it's a fake company. There is no existence. It's only there for money laundering. The use of shell companies is explicitly prohibited by United States USA Patriot Act of 2008, USA Patriot being an acronym deriving, now this is the acronym for this Patriot Act, okay? Deriving from full title of the act, that is uniting and strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism act. Patriot, big name. Nobody is going to ask you, but remember there is a Patriot Act in USA. Same act is there everywhere in any country, okay? Shell companies are not allowed. Next is bank capture. In extreme cases, money launderers may have controlling interest in a bank, allowing them to move funds without scrutiny. Now, if the owners or the directors of the bank itself, imagine they are the terrorists or they are the illegal money launderers. So what? Once the directors and the owners of the bank are such, they will do such transactions, right? They take control of the whole system. Okay. What are the stages in money laundering? Very important. Placement, layering and integration. Very, very, very important. Placement means I am having cash illegally found. I'll bring that cash, put it in the bank. Placement. Done. Now what will I do? Layering. Layering means what? It is in my account. What will I do? From my account, I'll transfer it to 50 accounts. Part, 50 various accounts. Those 50 accounts will further transfer it to someone else. 50, next 50, somewhere else. They'll transfer it to someone else. So now two layers have been formed. One from me to someone else to someone else. Now what will that last party do? They will transfer it to only one person. Last party will transfer only to one person whom I want to transfer. So net the money has gone from me to various ways and then ultimately it has gone to the same person. So this is layering. Layering means transferring, making various accounts, transferring to various accounts and then ultimately integration. Integration, what do we do? That person to whom I have transferred, the last person, and everyone is transferred to one person. That one person will purchase a property because he has got it through legal means, banking channel. So he will purchase the property. So this is known as integration. Okay? There is no single definition. There is no single definition of terrorism. However, as a catch-all, the FATF definition includes unspecified acts carried out with the relevant intention to cause death or serious bodily injury to a civilian or any other person not taking an active part in the hostilities in the situation of armed conflict with the purpose of intimidating a population or compelling action by a government or an international organization. Means causing harm to a civilian is known as terrorism. Normal civilian who is not concerned with anything. Causing harm to him fully, death or partly. That is all terrorism. Okay? Although terrorist financing may involve money laundering, in principle the two activities are distinct. So, terrorist financing and money laundering is actually different. Okay? Financial support to terrorist activities may A. come directly from certain states or jurisdictions or from organizations large enough to be able to collect and make the funds available to the terrorist organizations. So, it can come directly from certain states. Certain states means certain countries or jurisdictions or from companies, organizations. These are very big organizations. They also do the money, they might be doing the money laundering also. Okay? To be able to collect and make the funds available to the terrorist organizations. Got it? Terrorists may also be funded from sources channeled more directly through the financial system. So, channeled more directly through the financial system means proper SWIFT channel or any other channel. Okay? Proper banking channel. They can be financed. A terrorist organization may even engage in revenue generating activities of its own, which often may be or certainly appears to be legitimate businesses. So, this company can open a shell company or fake company. Not a shell. Shell means it's no existence, but there can be a fake company also. In front it's doing tourism business and in backyards it's doing something else. Right? Generating activities of its own. D. Unlike other criminal organizations, however, terrorist groups may also derive some of the funding from income that the individuals or entities have legitimately earned. So, all those who have legitimately earned the income, they may also give the funds to the terrorist. Many persons are there. I am an official, I am a legitimate person. I am earning everything legally. My salary, but some part of my salary I am giving it as a funding to that terrorist organization. It can happen. So, such things can happen. Okay? So kindly be aware. Okay, you have to track. That's why KYC is very important. Know your customer is very important. Okay. Combating money laundering. How to combat? How to counter? How to counter money laundering? Combating money laundering and terrorist financing. So how to counter? It is essential to adhere to the following rules. KYC, very important. This means following identity verification procedures designed to establish the identity of those in control of the customer. Okay. Second, know your customer's business. Very important. Knowing the customer's business is very important. This means understanding the likely transactional requirements in terms of documentary credits or even normal banking transactions, which will help to identify possible illegal transactions. So knowing this customer's business, suppose if some customer is in constructions and that customer is opening an LC for, let's say, purchase of some chairs, okay, or some chemical, you must get alerted. Why is this customer purchasing this chemical? He is in construction. Then that's what. Okay. Possible illegal transactions. This may involve asking about the source of customer's funds. So the banker can inquire about the source of funds. Very important. You can have an inquiry on that customer. The type of transactions to expect along with the size and frequency. See, nowadays in all the account opening forms of the bank, there is a column. What is the expected turnover? What are the expected buyers or sellers of yours? Nowadays the forms include all these things. Okay. Along with the size and frequency, the customer's dealings with foreign countries. Will there be any foreign currency transaction? The purpose of transactions or the services that the bank is to provide. So doing all this while opening the account itself. You should do all this while opening the account. Okay. What will be the frequency of forex transfers? Who will be your customers? What will be the product? Okay, you must know this first only. Know your business obligations. Now, what do you mean by this? Staff members are also need to understand the bank's obligations under the documentary credit, given the role that a bank is performing. So, whenever you are opening a LC, mainly this problem arises in LC only, international trades. So, whenever you are opening the LC, you need to understand as an employee that you are liable if you do any ignorance. See, ignorance is very important. If you do any ignorance, then you are liable. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. I didn't know. I had done it as per my normal process. Nothing doing. If money laundering happens through you, you are responsible. Okay. This includes following the correct procedures. So, following the exact procedures given in your bank's SOP, standard operating process. Keep records. Each bank must record the detail of all the transactions, including size and currency. Other information that must be recorded includes account opening details, details of the documents used to verify the identity, and details of any changes to the signatories. So that's why account opening form is very important. The authority is given to various persons in companies mainly. BR's board resolutions are there. Those are to be preserved. Okay. So these must be recorded. Includes account opening details, details of the documents used to verify the identity. Right? Which document you have used. Okay. Then Aadhaar card or any other. Okay. Details of any changes in the signatories, whether they have been noted in the account, whether there is a proper documentation for that. The FATF's 40 recommendations require that this information be held for 5 years. But in Bharat, we have it for 10 years. Right? FATF says 5 years. Although some jurisdictions may have more onerous requirements. Report suspicions. Bank staff must always be alert for customers' arrangements customers, arrangements, assets and transactions that give rise to suspicion of money laundering or terrorist financing. So you must always be alert, cautious. Is any, mainly in forex transactions, you should be very cautious. You don't know which customer will do what. Okay? So be very cautious, at least in forex transactions. Let it be LC, bank guarantee, any forex. Okay? Sanctions. International sanctions can have significant impact on the payment obligation under the documentary credit. So if USA put sanctions, there are many problems, okay, to that country. If it's a small country, then heavy problems. Economic sanctions in form of trade restrictions are sometimes imposed on countries or individuals by the United Nations. See, it is imposed on individuals also, not only countries. Many individuals are also having sanctions. OFAC, Office of Foreign Asset Control, the European Union or governments either acting alone or jointly with others, so can be imposed on any of these, okay, countries or individuals by the United Nations. OFAC, right, means who can impose sanctions. Sanctions can be imposed by United Nations, OFAC, okay. This, the European Union or governments either acting alone or jointly with others, means local governments also. Any country's governments can put the sanctions. Okay? These sanctions can be imposed without notice and with immediate effect. So without notice, no notice is required to give the sanctions. Today, right now, sanctions start. With immediate effect, with the result that even a complying presentation is made, even when the complying present, when the with the result that even when a complying presentation is made, the beneficiary will not receive the payment. Payment is not received. Many countries, they are seized. Do you know? Right? Many countries have been put the sanctions. Okay? If the sanctions are imposed and a bank considers the transaction to be subject to those sanctions, the bank will not honor or negotiate. So this bank will not do any transaction in any LC. No honor, no negotiation, right? No forex transaction. This applies whether or not the sanctions clause is included in the documentary credit. See, even if it is nothing mentioned in that LC, LC has these additional conditions, okay? It will mention this, that if there is any sanction from any of these organizations, then we will not process. But even if they don't mention, then also this is by default. Okay, got it everyone? Clear? So this was about the AML part. It is mainly used for CDCS and also for other exams. Okay.